Typically with my chum, I'll leave it out and let the flies put maggots in it. That adds a little something extra. Oh, come on now. It's kind of tricky sometimes. The current's trying to pull me back around the bend, but the wind's trying to push me toward the bank. But as you can see, once I got it in there, that's a good throw. Put another cup, just level. Ooh. Let the wind kind of use our oars to reposition the boat a little. And throw. Good throw. There we go. See that? That was a good throw. That's a good throw, and that's how you do it, folks. Water's here surprisingly clear on this end of the river as well. I never thought it would be that clear down here. Now, and that's all we're going to do. So now, we could try to pick us one more spot, but I'm not. I'm going to just fish these two spots right now. I don't have much time. What we will do is try to get back out in the middle of the channel, and we'll just motor back up to the first spot, anchor up, and start fishing. And you see what I mean by 3 logs? You got one tree coming this way, another tree coming this way, and another one coming that way. 3 logs. Now they'll converge at one point down there, and I'm hoping that there's some catfish right in there. You know, this is sort of the old school techniques before you had sonar and all. You just had to do this kind of stuff. And I hope to get some sonar by Christmas or maybe before next season, but for now, so if you're going to fire up your motor, you get way out into the channel, then fire your motor. You know, guys, I see guys, they motor in with the big, dang 300 horsepower motor and then wonder why they don't catch nothing. It's like, dude, stop. Now we're sufficiently far away. We will... Oh, come on, seriously? I never did rig my rods up, so we'll rig our rods, anchor up, and then start fishing. I just realized where we set up is on the outside bend of a river, which is actually the worst spot you can be in. Wasn't paying attention. I just saw this riprap here. I said, gosh, I gotta fish it, right? And so, looks like we have a little back eddy here. I was fishing just over there off this little point. Wasn't getting any strikes, so I decided to haul anchor and pull down a little bit to see if we could get here before we hit the other spot and have to head on in. But I'm going to fish a little deeper. But again, it's about 6 inches deeper or so. And he's got plenty of cheese bait on there, but you can see the channel markers there. So we're in the main channel here on the outside of the bend, but that's the inside of the bend. As you can see, it's very shallow running, whereas this is very steep. And so, gosh, every time you go out, you learn something new, something more about the structure of the river. And I just think it takes a lot of time to get out here. There is no quick, easy, hey, look, just do this one thing, and you'll be reeling them in every cast or whatever. It takes time, and the real question is, do you have the time, and are you willing to put that time in? Let me try to get this. Okay, there we go. There's some cheese bait here. I cast it right back off onto those rocks. Yeah, we're on the bottom there, so it's pretty shallow right there. But I'm gonna leave it there just in case. And so what we'll do is we'll just keep fishing here. We're just about up. You don't want to spend more than, I spent way too much time here. But yeah, you don't want to spend too much time in these sorts of spots. because it's just not, I mean, your goal is to eliminate as much water as possible, because these big dammed up reservoirs, it's kind of hard to tell what the heck's going on with them. And so as you can see, what that's right there is the current has it going one way. It's laying on the bottom, and so it's just barely kind of laying on the bottom. The back eddy has it going back this way, and that's why it's just sitting at an angle like that. You may not even be able to see that. And so it just kind of goes around in circles. See, there we go. Now it's straightened out. Now it's as deep as it should be, quote unquote. Haven't had any bites. Drifting it down in here, so we're going to move now. If you don't catch them, just move. I mean, if you're not getting bites within, 30 seconds, a minute, minute and a half, 2 minutes, give it about 3 minutes at the most, and then, reel it in, re-dip, try a slightly different point, maybe cast here, your classic sort of bass fan casting, and then after about 10 minutes, haul anchor and move to the next spot that you chummed. And we've been here way longer than that because I was struggling with anchors and stuff. But anyway, let's move on. There's a black soldier fly. I hope she'll be still. Right there, you see that? That's a black soldier fly. And she looks pretty young, like she may have just morphed. She's not as big as some. That's what they look like. I mean, they're just real docile. They don't bother you much. They look like dirt dobblers. But anyway, and there they go. I mean, I'm just way out here in the country now, and throw out a little bit more chum before we leave. Rinse that out, and see, there she goes again. There's several of them. Wow, there's way more of them here now than I've seen even at my house. And that's a bigger one, looks like. Yeah, that's a bigger one, a little bit more, a little bit older. They just come and lay eggs in this stuff. There's already just hundreds and hundreds of worms in here. That's part of the chum. That's what you want. They help draw in some of those juvenile channel cats. But we're just not looking at hooking into them. So let's go down to our main spot. You never run out of bait with black soldier flies, guys. Look at that. I mean, it's just thousands of them in there at this point. Take two. Usually fishing for brim. Now that is really dedicated for brim because they'll eat all that chum and stuff up. So you'll have to eventually get two of them. Usually get two. You want to kind of rig them up like you would a. Kind of rig them like that. I usually will rig two of them, but we're going to rig one for now. Let's see what we can do. That's a good little rig right there, just like that. And again, we'll cast right back in there. And you notice, again, I'm not using the float. I'm using the, I generally use my float to figure out where they are, and then once I catch that first one, I'll take the float off and fish straight off the bottom. My brother is the one who first told me about fishing for brim straight off the bottom, just like you would a bass rig or Carolina rig. Wind's pushing us out of position. I don't have the up, just had a hit. It's a real sharp, fast hit. It's not just a little nibble. The river's falling as we speak. And the wind is picking up, so alright. I think the current has carried this guy down further. Let's see. So yeah. But anyway, we'll just try him again here. See if we can't sidearm it. Ah, dadgummit. Well, I don't know. Let's just leave it there, see what happens. See what we can do right there. Not much, I don't think. Oh, something did hit it though. I was right, something did hit it. Alright, see right there. It's right there, he's gone. So, let's bait back up. A little brim. Good enough for bait. Hey, might be good enough to eat. Female there. Anchored up on this little inlet creek here. And once again, I don't have my, you guessed it, I don't have my pliers. Get our water out of here. At least we got the skunk out of the boat. Sometimes I think that's more important than just about anything else, really. Nasty rag, but anyway, just very little small piece of bait on there. And that was a real tiny, teeny bite there. Could barely detect it. And sometimes I'll take a lot of times actually, I'll take the float off and just fish off the bottom once I kind of find them. Get two of them. I usually get two. You want to kind of rig them up like you would a, kind of rig them like that. I usually will rig two of them. So we're going to rig one for now. See what we can do. That's a good little rig right there, just like that. And again, we'll cast right back in there. And you notice, again, I'm not using the float. I'm using the, I generally use my float to figure out where they are. And then once I catch that first one, I'll take the float off and fish straight off the bottom. My brother is the one who first told me about fishing for brim straight off the bottom, just like you would a bass rig or Carolina rig. Wind's pushing us out of position. I don't have the up, just had a hit. It's a real sharp, fast hit. It's not just a little nibble. The river's falling as we speak, and the wind is picking up, so alright. I think the current has carried this guy down further. Let's see. So yeah. But anyway, we'll just try him again here. See if we can't sidearm it. Ah, dadgummit. Well, I don't know. Let's just leave it there, see what happens. See what we can do right there. Not much, I don't think. Oh, something did hit it though. I was right, something did hit it. Alright, see right there. It's right there, he's gone. So, let's bait back up. Show you a quick trick. Once you catch that first brim, a lot of times what I'll do, believe it or not, take the float off, because it's essentially done its job in terms of finding them. Run this down all the way here, hook it back through. Come on now, don't give me all this trouble. Right? See, a little bit of a rattle. Might make a difference, might not, but you know, usually what I'll do here is and just cast it back in there and just drag it back across the bottom, fish it just like you would a Texas rig or, oh come on, seriously, a Carolina rig. Ugh. Most annoying part about fishing. Tangle lines. And fish it just like you would a red worm. like a plastic worm or something. See, way back into that little mouth of that thing, and we're just gonna just ever so slowly just lift and drag it back across the bottom like that. That's a quick way you can think about catching brim. And we'll see what we can get. Again, don't know how much camera I have left, so we're gonna kill it until we get a bite. Well, we just had a bite. Just had another bite. He ain't taking it though. There he goes. See? We got him. See? There he goes. So we caught the first one with the float. There's a sunfish there. Not big, but hey, again. And again, we're fishing for keeps today, so we're not worried about gut hooking and all that. At the very least, I got bait. And if I had my daggum pliers, I need to just start selling pliers, man. Just buy me a truckload of pliers, just so I have them, you know. But never can keep up with them. Now those are the red worms. Oh, come on now. There he goes. See, he won't live anyway, but we'll get him there on the ice. So that's the red worm. We're going to take him off, and we're going to put on the black soldier flies. Those of you who've wondering what black soldier flies look like. So we're just kind of switching over, fishing for brim. Sometimes you do that. Sometimes you just, it's a good thing about a multi-species approach. If one species ain't biting, you just, you know, this same gear setup works for brim. I mean, the only difference is a 6-pound test line, and we're working with live bait versus, you know, like a 12-pound test line working with the punch bait. Ah, it's good. Sorry. Little small guy again. Again, this is that fly rod that I built a few years ago. Dadgummit. Once again, and that's on the black soldier flies. A lot of times with the black soldiers, I find that it's better to use 2 of them, really. Put one on there, and then have another one as almost like a stinger, if you will. Have that one on there, rigged just like that. And then put another one on here about like that.